Alright, guys. How are we all doing? Hope you're all well. Just restarted it, so yeah. Hope everyone's well. What have we got in here? Welcome in. How are you doing tonight? Hope you had a good day. So, yeah. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I haven't really got anything planned, so just kind of make it up as we go along, really. Thank you for liking the live. So I'll have to look at that Neville Goddard stuff. It was telling me about someone narrating it or something. What was it called? 100k watts or something, whatever it's called. 100k watt, it's called. Imaginal acts become facts. So there's that. Maybe I'll try watching that one or something. So I could watch that video and sometimes it's good to just kind of try and get these ideas in your mind of like about self-belief and not just kind of like letting doubts kind of rule your mind, basically. So hello, RGE on what? Who can't fight? What are you saying? Thank you for the likes, everybody. What are you talking about? What are you on about? Hello, Mr. Professor. Hello, Cave is weird. Hello, 1101111101010. I look psycho, do I? How do I look psycho? Hello, why can't Tori read? How you doing, Tori? How you doing tonight? Hope you're well. What's everybody on about? What's going on in here? I hope you're all well tonight anyway. Welcome to my live. He's nervous, you can tell. I'm nervous, I'm really. Hello, Flashpoint. Yes, I'm back. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on your bell icon. I don't know, guys. What is up with some people, eh? Bless. Hello, Himan Shukalshik. You are brown by colour or just by name only? What do you think? What does it look like? Anyway. Hello, Dark Lord. People have a lot of hedge towards people who don't want a relationship, which is annoying. Yeah, there is that. It's like, you know, if you don't want a relationship, then that's your choice, right? No one should try and force their views on you. This is what I was saying earlier. You could disagree with somebody on something, but you shouldn't be there to try and force your views. That's kind of like almost like fascism at the end. Pretty much, isn't it? So, hello, Sky Matt. 50k as a gift. What are you going to do with it? Good question. Probably buy a little house or something. Or maybe a piece of land somewhere. Something like that, probably. That would get me started with life, wouldn't it? Anyway, is everyone alright tonight? Hope you've all had a great day. Hit that like button. We've got 15 people and 4 likes. Yeah, just smash that like button. Oh, you're brown by colour. Alright. Yeah, I identify as purple. I'm purple by colour. Hello, Rumpelstiltskin. How you doing? What are you saying? Oh yeah, there was that Dickens cider. It was a drink called a Dickens cider. I'd buy a really good wheelchair with 50k. Really? Why would you do that? A really good wheelchair for 50,000. What kind of wheelchair would you buy for 50,000? I mean, I don't think many of them would cost that much. I mean, unless there's some kind of loads of crap added to it for that. If a woman or a man asks if I'm in a relationship, I will lie because people are against people who don't have a relationship. Really? But then there's also some people who are against people who are in a relationship because they might be jealous. So it's just one of those where you can't kind of win either way. Hello, Toothless. Okay. Where some people might get jealous if you say you were in a relationship, they might be like, oh, because if they wish they were in one, then they might get jealous of that. So why are you too bothered about what people think of you, whether they judge you or not, really? Oh, it's full moon tomorrow. Oh yeah, they say people go crazy on a full moon. Have you ever seen a film called American Werewolf in London? Hello, Dongleman. Hello, Kurdish Keith. How you doing? Hope you're well tonight. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. That would be really appreciated. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that. Is it the one? So it was 100k watt or something. A video. Neville Goddard. Imaginal acts become facts. Is that the one that I should watch? Imaginal acts become facts. Okay, relieved, Theodore. Oh goodness. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Yeah, hope everyone's had a good day today. So yeah, what shall we talk about then? Noble descendants, what you mean am I of? Not that I know of. The slaughtered lamb, oh yeah. In about the Bible or something. Anyway, is everybody okay? Hope you've all had a great day. 100k watts, they are good. That's good. Also, living in the end. Yeah. I saw that one came up as well. Living in the end. Because they say about living in the end state, where you already have what you... living in the wish fulfilled, they call it, yeah. Living as though you already... From Canterbury. Archbishop of Canterbury. Hello, Bo Brennan. Hello, Alicia. I sound like Siri. Are you being serious? Oh, thank you, 420. Self-talk creates reality. Yeah. So so when people say that, oh, I'm too old for this, because that's like you're creating doubts in your mind. I'm too old for this. I'm not a lucky person. Oh, I wasn't born into a rich family or something like that. These are all self-limiting beliefs that people say to themselves, isn't it? Hello, out of the box. What's that? Saying really easily the best Jedi. I'm so glad they I don't know what you're talking about there. Stargazer says exactly. Hello, 420. What's your name? Hope you're well tonight. What have you all been up to today? What are your plans for the weekend? If anyone's new here, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell notification icon, and share the live out if you can. Hello, Kaya. Hello, Sean. Hi, Celestial. How you doing? Lucky to be here. Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. I just had about $9 worth of a super chat earlier, but then I only end up with about $6 of it. But that's just YouTube taking their cut, But still a good, nice that someone sent something. Hello, Spog. You got to try and have gratitude. Just can't remember, like someone sent something earlier as well. So it's like earlier today. Try and just have gratitude for all the support that you get, because people don't have to do that, but they choose to. Even if people are just here liking the live or they're here, conversing, that is something to be grateful for. And the more that you're grateful for things, then the more that things start to happen. So that's just how things are. Whereas if you're someone who has no gratitude, then you're just going to be, no one wants to give you anything. So I'll tell you a story, right? So my cousin, like, what happened, my grandma had a friend and she would used to, like, send her cards and I think she put, like, money in it or something like that, and she never got thanks. So eventually she stopped giving it to her. She stopped putting money in the card because she never got any thanks from her. So it goes to show that gratitude is important. So, yeah. I live in York. I'm not from York, technically. I'm not originally from York, but I live in York. Okay, so stay tuned, hello. But, yeah. What are you on about? What are you on about that I'll clean my face? What are you on about? Like, my face looks clean, I think. Probably just trying to mess around or something. Your face ashy, whatever. Why don't you just go troll somewhere else? I'm doing fine, thank you, Mr. Joel Mojo. How you doing? Welcome to my live. Hope you've all had a good day. You like it here? Oh, really? Good for you. Little Scarter men. Yeah. Probably all jealous. They're all low-key Myron, I'm the next coming of, like, Ziz, You could call me, like, the spiritual successor of Ziz. I'll be the next Ziz. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you're all just, like, low-key jealous. Little 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Okay, whatever. You're all just, like, low-key jealous, that's why you're doing that. No, I didn't fart, no. How you doing, L-Dog? Yeah, they're just all, there's a low-key haters, I think. David, yeah, I don't know. Just, find something better to do, I guess. No, I ain't got a lazy eye. But supernatural, no. Anyway. Yeah, just, why don't you just kind of find somewhere else to go, something else to do? I don't know why you're, hello, Koya. What are you talking about? I don't know why you guys bother. Like, I don't know. You're just flogging a dead horse. What are you on about? There's nothing wrong with my house. They probably have shitty houses themselves, I bet. Okay. Am I taken? No. David, what are you saying? Tunes? No, I don't play stuff on here. It's the copyright and stuff, really. Why? Why are you asking? No, I don't do tarot. I don't believe in all that tarot stuff. Yeah, I can't see future. I'm not going to pretend like I can see the future. Hello, DK. You actually live in a field? Oh, really? What do you mean you live in a field? Do you live in a tent or something, or something like that? Okay. Just gets a bit draining with the trolls sometimes. It's like, same old shit. Crystal balls. Remember that song, Shiny Crystal Ball? I don't know, is that a joke, Scott Dargazer? Because I was wanting to do like the busking stuff and film that, but I'm like, it's just the copyright. Otherwise I would actually film that, you know. I would actually film it on here, but because I do copyrighted songs, they'd be funny about that, wouldn't they? That could get me like a copyright strike or something. Impressions, I don't know. There you go, there's my Donald Trump impression. Probably my best impression. My greatest. I don't know who that is. Hello, Liam. Yeah, what you on about? Gingers have souls. But random. God's sake, this chat is just... What is going on recently with the chat, you know? Since I just suddenly just... Hi, Artish, how you doing? Hope you're well. Mommy, you know I love you! Crystal Maze, oh no. So what was the best answer? You got justification for all suffering. I don't have a justification for suffering with a God that is all loving. Either, my conclusion is either God is not all loving or there is no God in the way that the Bible or the Quran makes it out to be. Okay. What is it with these, what is my chair? It's like a gaming chair, but I'm not a gamer. What are you talking about? IBS playing up, oh god. Hang on, what's going on? Exotic, how you doing? Hang on a second, what's going on with this chat? Why is there a massive, like, gap in the chat? Right, I'm probably just gonna get rid of that. There we go. I don't know what the fuck just happened there, but I read tarot. My approach is to read the energy and then read the guidance to navigate to wish fulfilled. I don't predict, as energy is fluid. Carl Jung was into tarot archetypes, is psychology. Well, I see it more as like, it could be more like a self-fulfilling prophecy or something. Right, we'll get rid of this exotic person because they're just trying to fuck up the chat. Hello, Ray Music. Oh, thank you. If anyone's new here, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button as well. Joshua says, I don't follow tarot cards, I'm a Christian. Okay. I just don't believe that, like, they themselves predict the future. It's up to you to make the future how you want to make it. So within certain, you know, within reason, because obviously there's only so much we can do, but it's like, I don't believe the cards have some kind of psychic powers themselves. But it's like, I don't know, the whole thing with cards, it's like, why would you need tarot cards to try and manifest then or something? Am I hopeful for the future? Yes, I am. And then we've got Liam Brown says Saturday as a turd in it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Give us a reading. No, I don't do tarot. Exactly like I said, it's not about fortune telling. That's a limited concept, right? But if it's not about fortune telling, then what's the point of it then? Just focus on an intention that you have. But you could argue that you could end up cursing bad things to happen, because if we believe in some like self-fulfilling prophecy, then it could be a bad thing that you can end up cursing something bad to happen, you could argue. What you're saying, will my friend's girl come back? I don't know. I haven't got a clue. I'm not a psychic. I'm never going to pretend to be a psychic. I reckon a lot of the people doing this are just, in my opinion, charlatans. Just trying to make money. That's what they're all about, basically. There's nothing wrong with making money, or we need money to live, but it's like, it's when they're just trying to prey on vulnerable people. What's going on here? Anyway, that's where I draw the line with that kind of stuff, when people take advantage. Yeah, why would I shave eyebrows? That's a very weird thing to say. Anyway, I don't know. I can't be asked with that shit, you know. Can't be asked with all the trolling and shit. Well, if I don't get any like decent conversation going on, then I'm probably just going to finish early tonight. I really can't be asked. Unless we're going to have some serious kind of chat going on, then I might as well just get off. What do you think is the reason for all the unnecessary suffering? The way I see it is that it's just nature. It's just how nature is. Chainsaw, it's just, there is good and bad everywhere, and that's just nature. But you can choose to tune into the good or bad, depending on your state of mind. A lot of suffering is mental, I would say, and you can choose to tune into the positive and not cave into all the negative. Like, for example, you don't need to tune into all the news that's mostly negative. Tune out of it, consciously tune out of all the bad stuff, toxic people and all that, and only tune into positive stuff. That way you're reinforcing your mind with positivity. What we're saying. I'm not saying that my opinion is higher than yours. When did I say that? I don't think I ever said that my opinion is higher than anybody's. We all have a different opinion. Okay, Chainsaw. Most of suffering is negative, wise words. I suffered more in my mind, that's true. Yeah. Bro, get a life, says Pega. Says you just coming into a random live stream with... Is that all you can do? What frequency resonates with you? This is the definition of brainwashed, lol. What do you mean, what's brainwashed? What are you talking about? I'm talking about like how thoughts are like frequencies. When you think of something negative, that's a frequency. Every thought has a different vibration. So we can either choose to tune into the negative or the positive. we're constantly tuning into all the negative stuff that's going on around us, then that starts to impact your mind and starts to, well, if you can explain why I'm wrong, then okay. And he's telling me I'm brainwashed, but maybe you can explain to me why I'm wrong then. It's a Yorkshire boiler. Exactly. Just talking about, because there's someone just talking with about this whole idea of living in the end state. If you want to bring something into your reality, you have to live in the dream, what they call it, the wish fulfilled. So you have to visualize and think about what it would feel like with a wish fulfilled, and just keep reminding yourself every day of where you want to see yourself in life. Whether it be however many years down the line, but yeah. Do I believe in the afterlife? Well, I haven't got there yet, so I'll have to wait and see what happens, really. But I've not got there yet, so I don't know for sure, because there has been some stories about people who've claimed to have been there, like in near-death experiences, but then there's disputes on whether that could be something going on in the mind at that time. But there's some interesting stories, but yeah, everything has an end. Well, maybe an end in this body, of course, but who's to say that consciousness doesn't transfer to something else? Whatever is my essence, what it is that makes me sort of thing. But we wouldn't remember that. For all we know, we could have had past lives. Or you're responding to Yumas, oh yeah, what you're saying about the suffering thing or something. But who knows? Really, who knows like what is going to happen? Some people believe that once you're dead and that's it. I mean, no one's come back and said that. But there was somebody on a show called, I watched some of it, Diary of a CEO, and they were claiming to she was claiming to have communicated with her dead husband or something. I mean, can that really happen? I don't know if that's really a thing that can actually happen. I would have thought that once you're dead and then you come back, there's no memories of past. I don't believe that you can actually. If I remember, I was looking into it, and apparently Alan Watts believed that when you die, you do your consciousness goes on to something else, but it isn't. But you have you don't remember the past life. So you kind of start in a clean slate every time. That's kind of how I would see it. If we were to have another life, then we wouldn't remember a previous life. If you get me. Hello, journalist Codex. I can tell you more about that. Okay. How do you know that consciousness is something special or higher than us? For all it is just neuron pathways. I mean, how does neuron pathways create all of this subjective experience? I mean, because there's still what they call the hard problem of consciousness. So, because it's not something that science can recreate through other means. It's some organic thing that's happening. Science cannot synthetically replicate such a thing. So it's just why did I just come into this existence right now? None of it really makes sense from just a random, chaotic kind of perspective, in my opinion. I'm not saying that God created us or anything like that, but some would say that there is more to this consciousness than just this body, that some would say that the body is the meat suit that carries the consciousness. It's a host for the consciousness rather than consciousness being a product of the body. I mean, nobody really knows exactly what's going on, but anyway, energy is neither created nor destroyed. It is just changed form. Yeah, Einstein, yeah. Hi, Ryan. I won't really say I'm an expert on consciousness, but I'm just like a little peer tosh. I mean, but yeah, we call it a hard problem of consciousness, as in, let me just go and type that in. Okay, hi, everything is a psyop. 1 is the beginning, 2 growth forks, and then 8 the highest expansion, 7 reduction, 5 reduction, 1 a new beginning. What does that mean? So talk about the physical brain processes produce subjective phenomenal experiences, qualia, such as the redness of a sunset or the feeling of pain. It differs from easy problems mapping brain function / behavior by focusing on why these processes are accompanied by inner experience at all. As in, why do they need inner experience? This is what I see as like, consciousness is a fundamental part of this reality. Let's say, you could say it's an elemental part of the reality that we are in. Without consciousness, reality doesn't exist in the way that we know it to. Like, somebody has to observe. It's like with the quantum theory, that there has to be an observer in order for the reality to actually have any kind of meaning. Otherwise, it's just waves of probabilities. There are many levels of consciousness seen in many animals. Octopus has consciousness which is different than humans. Neuroscience has a proper explanation to consciousness. You just need to read. Well, but it's like, it still doesn't explain it, I don't think. It doesn't explain why matter then has a spiritual experience. Like, it's a very weird thing, is consciousness. That it doesn't explain why my consciousness just spontaneously existed out of all these millennia. Just suddenly now, that's when it decides that I'm the one that's going to be conscious right now. Do you get what I'm saying here? Because it can be a bit hard to explain my thoughts sometimes, and it can sound a bit abstract. But the thing is, David, that Einstein did say that it was more of what they call a different type of God. L-Dog says, I get you, Jamie bro. What is the 369 method? Like, it's just, there's certain things that science, it's like, there's certain subjective things. Like, I can't prove that my version of red is the same version of red that yours is. What determines how I see red? As in, like, why do we see colours at all? If you get me, it's all very, when you think about it, it's very trippy, and just, like, people can go about neuroscience and all that, and analyze the mechanisms, but in terms of the inner experience of it, there's just something that doesn't quite add up to me about the scientific, rational explanation. Anyway, hope you're all doing well tonight. I can see through walls and buildings on it and got what you mean. What's going on? Be still and what you say? Yin yang, everything in our universe has an opposite. Yeah. Well, that's what they say about duality and all that. Hello, Adam. Anxiety and depression. I mean, anxiety and depression, I would say they're, yeah. I mean, what about it? I mean, just, I feel like modern times probably exacerbates a lot of it. I think a lot of it's down to the whole thing of a lot of like things such as trying to emulate whatever they see on social media, or it might be that people don't feel like they have a purpose anymore. There's a lot of different things. Also, at times, nutrient deficiencies can also be playing into things at times. Lifestyle, but it is it's a complicated issue. You are conscious, right? Well, I would have thought so. Let me begin with our love stars in our universe. Stars are a creation of our God. How you doing now? The inner experience is just our brain, just like dreams, seeing faces and objects, shutting down during a pass out, etc. I mean, what are you getting at? Like, as in, like, how do we know that this is even real? What you could say. Like, when we're dreaming, that feels real. I mean, we could be in some kind of fucking dream world right now. Maybe we're in a simulation, who knows? Because we can't necessarily disprove such a thing. We could be in some higher dream. Like, maybe when we die, then we go into another dream, who knows? Like, how could you actually prove any of that? How could you prove what you're saying is true? There's a lot of things that are very subjective about reality, and maybe some things are beyond our comprehension. And this whole thing of trying to rationalize everything might be the trap. Yeah. It's just, I was thinking about, the whole thing of, the universe going on for pretty much like an infinite amount of time, and then I just pop into existence for a short amount of time, and then nothing else after that, and it's just blank again. I mean, what is the chances of that? What is the chances of that being reality? That I just kind of came here randomly in this time out of eternity. I don't know, you can go on about all your neuroscience and whatever, but there's something on like an instinctual level that you could say, for me at least, that theory just feels off. But who knows? Maybe it is that crazy that we just have this random experience that we feel like is some kind of, matter having some kind of conscious experience, just to then, that's it for eternity, then never coming back. But anyway, I don't know, guys. Some people will say that we go back to a pool of collective consciousness or something, and what do you guys think? What we have here on Earth is very, very rare so far. We found no evidence of any other life elsewhere. Yeah, hello, Green Day is the best band. Oh, really? How you doing tonight, everybody? In a big shit game where the higher powers are betting on our successes and failures. It feels like we're in some kind of thing. We might very well be in a simulation, but that does not mean that our consciousness or the inner experience is something outside of that simulation that transfers outside the simulation. What do you mean? But then it's like, what happens after you die then? That all just switches off and that's it forever. I could argue that when you pass out, this might be a bit of a crazy theory, that if you don't have a dream, I could argue that from your perspective, no time has actually gone past. Because there is no concept of time, that you go to sleep and then you wake up. Like, it feels like no time has gone past if you've not had a dream or something. So, because you always dream or something. So, anyway. Okay. Could be argued the simulation could equally simulate our consciousness. But that's, how does that work though? Could it destroy consciousness as well? But then they say something like nothing can be created or destroyed. That's what they say, so what's that? Well, there's actually a theory that basically when you die, you end up going into an identical copy of yourself somewhere else in the universe or something. Nothing happens after death. I mean, well, you might not remember it, is what you'd say. Like, well, if something happened, then how would you remember it? So you're assuming that you would remember what happened before you were born. But if you've gone into another body, then you wouldn't know, would you? That you'll be wiped with a clean slate, is what I would say, if that was the case. You would have no memory of any past life. So I don't necessarily believe in the past life recollection stuff, because I don't think that memories would carry over. Hello, Gold Phantom. So it wouldn't be you going into another body. What would be your consciousness? But what is it that makes your consciousness yours? Because is it the neurons in your brain? Because that's the only thing that actually stays the same, apparently. That's the only thing that you actually retain, is the neurons in your brain. So when someone else has another life somewhere, and then sort of that's a new consciousness is created all the time, but who's to say that your consciousness doesn't come into another body somewhere? I mean, if the universe is infinite and has infinite possibilities, then that, I don't know, it's you didn't fall into life by coincidence, you chose experience. Consciousness isn't a random spark in a meaningless universe, it is awareness exploring itself form. But then I would say, well, if we actually chose it, why would we choose suffering though? That's the thing though, if it was our choice. Yeah. Your unique DNA, you're saying. So, hang on. The neurons are not the same, question mark. What do you mean? I was saying that, what is it? I was saying that let's see, does every cell in the body get replaced? Because I was saying that every cell, apart from a few neurons in the brain or something, because it says about every 7 years that every cell gets turned over, but it's saying that key cells in the heart, brain, and eye lenses last for a lifetime, is what it says. But the question is about what makes you you, and someone said about unique genetic code. So if the universe is infinite, then would that mean that your unique genetic code could then show up somewhere else in the universe? Is that possible? Because if everything's possible, then identical copies can exist. Is that possible then, or what? Parallel dimensions, you're saying? Because what is it that makes you you? Is it the unique, genetic codes you were saying? Well, is there another universe or somewhere else in the universe where that could happen? Yeah, teleporting is possible, you're saying. What do you mean? Hang on a sec. How is teleporting possible? Don't think too much, bro. Your head might explode. Just stick to impersonating Trump. That might be possible. I don't see anything to debate against. The universe is infinite. Yeah, because I was thinking about this idea a while ago about how, that to do with the neurons and all that if the genetic codes are exactly the same, then... But this is the idea of people saying that you can upload your consciousness into a computer, but some people saying they could clone themselves or something like that, and then that was that theory as well, cloning yourself, and then somehow, but then, cloning yourself wouldn't be you though, would it? I don't know. But it's, I don't know, it's, yeah. Cockney, I don't speak with a Cockney accent. But then I was thinking, well, did the universe have a beginning? Because I struggle with the idea of thinking that we've been around forever, because there had to be a beginning, but then how could it end? It's a paradox to think about. What I'm saying is we don't understand everything about... This is what my point is, we don't understand everything about consciousness and the fundamentals of reality, and yeah, we can talk about neuroscience, and that could explain certain things, but it doesn't explain the aftermath or whatever of life, and whether or not, what's this? So you're saying if you die here, you wake up in a clone body far away in the universe, or it could be in a different universe if we believe in parallel universes, or what? Because we don't know. We don't know what's out there necessarily, but what we're saying, from Jerusalem, the Prophet Muhammad ascended through the 7 layers of heaven. At each level, he met different prophets and saw the wonders of the universe. Oh, really? Well, that's, I don't know about that. Well, this is like the Islam and stuff, but Tolle says if you die, it's lights out. I mean, some people believe that whatever you believe will happen will happen. Hello, Mr. K. Silva. Oh, really? Anyway. Okay, what time we're on? 1:19. You're either a Cockney or a Scouser. Well, the thing is, Cockneys and Scousers don't sound anything like each other. The hell? Anyway, Lions, how you doing? What's bollocks are you talking about? Alex O'Connor, I've heard of him. Yeah, I've heard of Alex O'Connor. It's just hard for me to think of it's just going to be nothingness after death. It's like, I don't know. I like to think that there's, that's just kind of a new beginning or something, and I don't know, it's, everyone's got their own kind of, you could say, biases, I guess. Because some people say that people tend to become more religious as they get older, as every day death getting closer, and that's can be a comfort for people. But not everyone necessarily gets religious, they might get more spiritual or whatever. Hi Susan, I'm Jamie. How are you doing? It's just the more I think about reality, the more it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know, it's like there's a lot that we can't make sense of, I believe. And the more we try to rationalize it, the more that we get stuck in, like, why am I in this body at this moment in time? Was this by some pure coincidence? There's a lot of holes in organized religion. Yeah, definitely. So I'll talk about like things like suffering and why is there a need for any of that. But I'm also someone who will still be skeptical of certain things as well from science. If, say, like, if I disagree with that, then I'll be like, okay, well, that we need to look into that and keep an open mind. No, I live in York. Anyway. But again, if someone exactly like you exists in a different universe, they would be themselves, not you. So if you die, why would you take their place? I'm not saying you would take their place. Is that there's new people being born all the time, is what I'm saying. And your essence would then kind of basically be in their body or something. I mean, it's like, I'm just saying that what is the chances that from an eternity of time that we come into existence for this short amount of time, which is just like a drop in the ocean amount of time, to then just be that's it forever. I don't know, that just doesn't sit right with me. It's like to have this subjective experience and then that's it, that's nothing after that. I don't know. I haven't changed my accent. So like saying about it's called a fundamental paradox of human consciousness known as temporal finitude. Well, there's no single consensus. Different disciplines offer different explanations for why this occurs. So just kind of just having a look at different things of talking about existence being a temporary blip of order in an otherwise chaotic eternal timeline. It just, that whole thing just seems kind of like, little Eric, little infiltrator, hello Google Chrome, hello Sean. Okay. What are we saying? Susan says, why do people keep... I don't know what's going on. So if you get born into that universe again, who is to say that this is your first time? As universe is infinite, you might be stuck in a loop. So what's special about consciousness then? I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that the assumption that when you die that that's it, and that's just the end of it all, is something that cannot be proven necessarily. Because the absence of proof doesn't prove absence. So it's just that science oftentimes will assume something doesn't exist if it can't prove it to exist. I'm not saying science, but scientists oftentimes they will be like, oh well, we can't prove it, therefore we kind of just rule that out as a possibility kind of thing. Not saying every scientist does that, but it's but maybe we end up in Groundhog Day. Who knows? That's a theory as well. I remember someone was saying that they believe that we end up going through the same thing over and over and over again. That's a kind of scary thought, actually, to have to relive it all over and over. But could it be Groundhog Day, or could it be Groundhog Day with a slightly different kind of, maybe it goes in a slightly different direction next time? So let's have a look and see, like, so I'm gonna restart the live, guys.